Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with my Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout, and there you see the cut file that I am using, which is the Imagine cut file that was released this month, and I love this viewfinder. I had one when I was a kid. I loved it. I think one of the reasons why I love the Toy Story ride at Disney so much is because it has one of those viewfinders, and yeah, I absolutely love it, as well as the Buzz Lightyear ride. If you remember when you go, at least in the one in Disney World, if you go and check that one out, it also has one of those Viewmaster viewfinders in it as well. So just a little fun fact about Disney and the fact that I love those viewfinders. So when I saw that cut file, at first I thought I was going to actually do a Toy Story layout from Disney, but I decided to go ahead and document, and I'll probably put this sort of in an album that I kind of keep about stuff about me. And what I decided to do was document all of the sort of toys that I played with when I was a kid, because one of them was, of course, the viewfinder. But I went out and found some photos of some toys that I had personally as a kid, and I went ahead and printed them all out into sort of little 3-grid sort of layout sort of clusters of these photos. And I'm going to go ahead here, and you see me matting each of the little photo strips on some pattern paper here. I am using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of May. And so I just pulled some papers out that I wanted to use with these softer pinks and black and white kind of color scheme. And I'm just going to go ahead and mat these little photo strips on some of these pattern papers, and they are going to go on my layout. I did off camera back behind the viewfinders some pink pattern papers from my kit, as well as I cut the viewfinder out, and so all of that I did off camera, since especially with this cut file, it was super simple. It was basically just taking and gluing the pattern paper onto the back and cutting around it so that it filled in the viewfinder. So super easy. I didn't actually show that part on camera. Now I did add some gold splatters to my background, so I have that off to the side drying, and so I figured I would just build my clusters that are going to go around my photos here while I'm waiting for my background to dry. And this does change a little bit as the layout progresses, but I do kind of keep pretty close to the clusters that you see me building here. And I brought back in my cut file because obviously that didn't have any mixed media on it. And so here you see I'm trying to figure out how I can design my layout and still get all of the photos I want, but then also get these beautiful cut files that Virginia created, because I love them so much. So it does change when I do come back in. So there you see it did change a little bit. I oriented the photos a little bit differently, but I was able to get them all on there. And I love how the cut files, they don't take over the layout. They kind of accentuate the photos and give it just a really fun sort of feeling to the overall layout. I did in Silhouette Studio for 3 of the viewfinders. I did kind of weld them together, so it made them almost like their own film strip, with 3 of them welded together to make my bottom cluster. And then the 3 that I used at the top, those were all separate. So I was able to layer those up around the viewfinder. And here I'm just playing with what I'm going to use for the actual title. And I kept the title super simple for this one. It's just going to say 80's Child, because, well, that is pretty much sums up my childhood. I was definitely an 80's child. So I had all of these different toys, everything from Barbies to My Little Ponies to Pound Puppies to Simon Says to Cabbage Patch Kids to the Care Bears, that pink and white puppy that is in that second set of photos in the photo strip. I actually have that puppy still today. He is actually in the top of my closet, and he is the pink and white one that was originally in that photo as well. There's the Pop-A-Moles. I don't have those anymore, but I have the Game Boy and I forget that thing we used to get on to hop on, that ball. But I remember having all of these toys. I personally owned all of them. So this is a very fun layout. I will document on the back about being an 80s kid and about having all of these fun toys that my kids have no idea. They are very much in the generation of everything being online and computer games and things like that. So I gave my daughter, I still have my Barbies and my Little Ponies, and so I gave those to my daughter, and so she did play with those when she was little. I actually kept a lot of my toys from my childhood, and so she was able to play with those. But I know a lot of kids today, they don't play with as many toys as we did back in my day, and so it was really fun to take and use this fun viewfinder cut file and be able to document some of the fun toys that I remember playing with as a kid, so that when my kids, if they ever look back at this is really just for me anyway, but if they ever wanted to look back, they could say that those were the toys that their mom played with when she was younger. And so I'm just finishing up the clusters with some different stickers from my kit, as well as some clear stickers and some puffy stickers. Again, all of this just adds some dimension. And to finish out this layout, because it is quite busy, I definitely didn't need to add anything more to it once the florals and all of the stickers were in. I came back with just a few of these pink enamel dots, and I'm just going to dot them around the layout, and pretty much with that it is going to complete this one. I will have the still photos coming up in just a moment. Please don't forget to check the links down below for Virginia's awesome store, and check out the cut files. Go and pick up this cut file and create your own layout for maybe documenting your toys as a kid. And with that, guys, these are the still photos, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.